just find a log to sit down on, and I'm going to go through the channel line on my underquilt for my hammock. It uses a couple of knots rather than hardware, so if you want to go down a road of hardware free, let's have a look what we can do. Sit in my hammock and we'll have a look at the modifications on the quilt. It's very, very simple, this one. Tree straps. So this is 4mm cord, holds the quilt up a lot better. Simple modification. But I measured all this to my 8-foot hammock, and then I ordered this hammock. This is my 11-foot hammock, and I'd already trimmed the lines on this 4mm. So I dug out my 3mm. That just didn't want to do the job either. After all, it's only got one job to do, hold up a lightweight quilt. Even the 3mm cries at holding a simple quilt. 4, a bit better. So without going out and buying new line, I had to come up with a different suspension. So here's the 4mm in the channel, coming out, and on the other side, nothing. And I'll show you what stops this quilt from sliding back here, which is a prusik, which has gone to the secondary suspension. Obviously all 4 corners, but we'll go through that in a minute. Let's come back to the loop that I made and get that on. You can have the system totally hardware free, partially hardware free, or full hardware. So I've left this side uncompleted. This is what it used to look like I said. Out of channel line, a loop, back to this gadget here, which is your secondary suspension, and you'd have to pull on the secondary suspension, make that loop smaller, which pulls the hammock up. Totally taking it out. And I'm going to put the loop here up to the hammock, but watch what happens. It wants to fall back, and it falling back in the middle of the night like that makes it loose. You get a cold bum. There's where that prusik comes in. I always choose what is practical. This is 3mm. Now, through the main channel of the actual underquilt here, I started off with the standard 2.3mm that this company runs through the channel. Garbage, just sinks, comes off your backside. That's what makes you cold. I upgraded 2.5mm, and same, just sinks, comes off your backside, cold. Then I stepped up to the 4mm. Great, stays where it's meant to. When I found out I didn't have long enough because I'd already cut the damn thing, I went out and bought 3mm. This, still garbage, but 3mm I can use to make a prusik. And to make a prusik, I fold a section in half. I've come underneath, and with these tail ends, I push it through like that. Now I need to come around again, and the number of times you come through this loop is either going to be 2 or 3 times. The more you come through, the more it wants to hold. This is called a 4-fist. Let me tidy it up. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 knuckles on the line, and that's what it's doing, it's grabbing it. I'm going to put another one in, so it should end up with 6. It's just added precaution. Now, because I'm struggling doing this, I'm trying to keep everything in frame and shot. I'm just going to quickly redo that again. 1, 2 times round, 3 times round. It should be really quick there. That won't go up or down the line unless I grab the knot, squeeze it and start pulling it along the line. Now I need to tie it into this here, your secondary suspension, and I have a section here to put that cord through and one there. So 1 section through there and 2 section can go through there. Looks something like that. I'm going to finish it with an overhand knot, put both of them behind. It's just like a shoelace, your first part. So there's my finished prusik or prusik, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which was 3 wraps around. That will stop this quilt from slipping back. See, I can't pull it back, it's not going to sink in the night. In front of the knot, I'm going to make my slippery half hitch, put this to the end of the hammock. Just going to try and get in. I could do with moving my whole body further up the hammock. It's just as adjustable as having your gadgets. I've put 4mm obviously in the channel, and the prusiks were made of 3mm. Could try slightly smaller, and it grips well, so there's no slip on the underquilt at all. I can still adjust the elevation. I mean, I buy this line at 20 metres at a time for less than 7 or 8 quid. 20 metres, it's enough to do about 4 of these hammocks. So easy to do, makes it very quick as well. And away you go in, totally hardware free, if that's your cup of tea. Until next time, take care of yourself, give it a try, and happy trails.